Today's video will be about, well, how do I start off with? Here it is. Everyone, there's so many, crazy, insane, cartoon fan theories out there. From the Smurfs Holocaust to the Family Guy ones to that Christopher Robin schizophrenia one to my most favorite effed up one is the Rugrats one where Angelica is imagining all the babies, which how do you make this crap up? And so for this video, I'll be going down my top 5 favorite cartoon fan theories that actually do make sense. Look, I'm no Matt Pat, I'm no film theorist guy, but what I'm about to recommend you guys, it actually kind of works, and I don't know what to think. I like to think they're real. Is what I think. And it's just in my opinion. And these are the ones, I don't know where they came from, but I do love them. And so what this video will be about. Also, I like, subscribe, and comment. Just gonna throw that out there real quick. And here we go.
Good job solving the mystery of the abandoned shipping factory, gang.
The gray ghost was just a guy in a costume? I did not see that coming.
So where to next, gang?
Well, there's the deserted amusement park, an old vacant mansion, an abandoned warehouse, an abandoned hotel, a shuttered hospital, and another abandoned hotel.
The economy isn't getting better, is it?
Now, for Scooby-Doo, everyone loves and remembers the Scooby-Doo Where Are You series back in 1969. And even the real Scooby geeks would know this. There is one theory floating around in the mist that it takes place during the Great Depression or when the economy had gone bust. Things are so appalling that well-known individuals and celebrities turn to a life of crime to survive the financial fiasco while dressed up as monsters so that they can protect their identity. You know, they dress up as Miner 49er or Captain Cutler or the Creeper. Remember those guys? Just go back to those old Scooby-Doo episodes, like that Miner 49er episode, where there's lots of abandoned old buildings and rundown areas, and they seem to mention a lot of the economy going bust.
Ed, and Eddie Purgatory theory is definitely the most discussed cartoon theory ever. If you ever seen the show, then you know that it obviously starts the Eds, of course, as well as a bunch of other kids that live in a cul-de-sac. However, the world around them is pretty much oddly empty. Adults or parents are rarely ever seen in the show, so this theory posits that the cul-de-sac is essentially a purgatory.
Now, with Ed and Eddie, have any of you ever questioned why exactly we never once saw Ed, Double D, or Eddie's parents, or any other adult, for that matter? With the Peanuts, at least you got, in our specials, you got to see all the adults on different specials, which is very much a big treat. But with Ed or Eddie, here it is. They're all in purgatory. Each character, like Jimmy, Sarah, Kevin, Johnny, they all died as a child at different styles and points in time, and remains trapped in suburban afterlife. For example, Rolf spends his time with his farm animals because he died in the early 1900s, trampled to death by his farm animals, which is pretty effed up a bit. Eddie came from New York City during the Great Depression. Double D, as he died in the 1980s during a chemistry experiment, or lab experiment, something like that. Ed and Sarah, his sister Sarah, died in World War II. And mostly just that's it. They're all... I think Naz died during Woodstock in 1979, is it? 79 or 80, 1980? And Kevin died in 1999 for some reason. But I do like that theory, though. It is because I know there's that alien, that invasion special that felt like maybe they are in purgatory a bit. Everyone loves that bubbling figure that Don Adams nailed big time. The dumbass dolt and detective in distress that his own niece and dog save him multiple times. The question states that Dr. Claw is the original Inspector Gadget, who died from an explosion. His genius niece, Penny, created a robotic replica of her uncle out of grief, and which explains why Dr. Claw always escapes from the villain's clutches. He would never want to hurt or bring harm to his own niece, and his goal is to destroy his replacement, and also explains why we never saw Dr. Claw's face. You know, any of you guys remember the early episodes, like the first or second episodes where they had Gadget with a little mustache that was later shaved off? That's why I remember all this time.
This is one of the theories that actually makes sense in Courage. The cowardly dog nowhere is the void between this world and the next. As said in the show's intro, many creepy things happen in nowhere, and fans have a lot to say about that. There is a belief that the barren land that Muriel, Eustace...
This one is probably my favorite above the list. Despite his anxiety and fear of the supernatural horror, Courage, the cowardly dog, always protects its owners, Muriel and Eustace Baggs, from monsters, crooks, killers, and psychopaths that they cross paths with. What if they weren't all as scary as he thinks they are? This creepy stuff isn't real. We're all seeing each episode through Courage's point of view. He's an anxious little animal, and the world looks so different through his eyes. I mean, this is a boring, yet wholesome theory around it. And I do love, this theory. I do love the show. I also love theory. Courage is one of my favorite dog characters ever. And, like, almost everyone, each one of them has a dark vibe, has a dark toon vibe to it. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Now say it, honey.
This proves that Futurama and Disenchantment take place in the same
universe.
Disenchantment occurred between when Fry was frozen and the year 3000.
That's so cool.
Disenchantment, co-created by Matt Groening, who gave us Life in Hell, The Simpsons, Futurama. Now, the show is kind of like morphing for Futurama addicts. Billy West used to put it there. It's like a fantasy medieval world. And here's the theory. It's that there are things that don't exist in their history, such as blimps, guns, rockets. There are moments where technology shouldn't be there. It's actually in the future. It's like post-Futurama, post-New New York, post-apocalyptic. It's like way, way, way the hell down the line in the future. Society as we know it goes through medieval modern tech. It's a strong possibility that the world of Disenchantment takes place in the far future. And that actually was proven in when they brought back Futurama make it a Hulu original. And they proved that in that when they did that parody of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it seems like they proved that theory to be correct. I'd like to think they did. Yeah. So, and you guys have, if you guys have any of your own favorite cartoon theories to point out, I'm fascinated to hear them. Like, there's so many to choose from. Like Blue is an actual dog, or Bluey is a witch, or caused the apocalypse, or like, see, from before I end this, Ella, one of my favorite YouTubers, Ellis Mark, did an episode, did a video on these crazy, insane cartoon fan theories, and the link is in the description if you'd like to take that a look there. That's all I'm saying. And thank you all for your time watching. And happy Valentine's Day.